something extraordinary happened. Something that shook fans, journalists, and music historians to their core. The name Chewie Thompson had been floating around social media for months, often dismissed as a quirky internet personality. But everything changed when a shocking revelation emerged. DNA confirmed that Chewie Thompson is, in fact, the biological grandson of Elvis Presley. What followed wasn't just another celebrity headline. It was the unfolding of a story that blurred the line between myth and history. It began at a live fan event streamed to millions. The crowd was buzzing, laughter filling the air, when the interviewer leaned forward and asked a question that had lingered for decades. Is Elvis really dead? The room fell silent. Chewie didn't flinch. He didn't smile. He simply stared, expression unreadable, for several long seconds. Then, with deliberate calm, he shook his head, turned, and walked away, 1 inch at a time. No words, no denial, just silence. The clip went viral almost instantly. Millions watched, analyzed, replayed. His eyes told a story, or maybe guarded one. Within days, social media was flooded with theories. Was he confirming something unspeakable? Was the grandson of the king hinting that the king himself had never truly left? As the world speculated, reports began surfacing. DNA tests, sealed documents, legal correspondence hidden in Tennessee archives. A journalist had unearthed letters, quietly tucked away for decades, between Priscilla Presley and a woman long presumed to have no connection to the family. The letters spoke of settlements, secrecy, and a child whose identity had been protected at all costs. Then came the scientific proof, a DNA test showing a 997% match between Chewie Thompson and the Presley bloodline. The evidence was irrefutable. Yet, astonishingly, the Presley estate didn't deny it. No one issued a firm statement, just silence. The same silence that now surrounded Chewie himself. When a popular podcast host tried to corner him with the same question, "So, is Elvis dead?" Chewie reacted exactly as he had before. He smiled faintly, stood up, and walked away. That small act ignited a cultural explosion. Analysts dissected his every movement. Psychologists broke down his body language. Fans began speculating whether Chewie knew something the world wasn't ready to hear. But what captured people's attention wasn't just the mystery. It was the presence. His quiet intensity, the way he carried himself, the uncanny resemblance not only in features, but in energy. Watching Chewie felt like watching echoes of Elvis himself. Soon, his Instagram became a living archive of subtle hints and emotional breadcrumbs. A shadowy photo of the gates of Graceland appeared with a simple caption, "Coming home soon." He didn't tag anyone. He didn't elaborate. The post spread like wildfire. Millions commented, begging for clarification. None came. Behind the scenes, however, Chewie had been searching for answers long before the world ever knew his name. For years, he had collected fragments of a personal mystery. Old photographs without context, family stories that stopped just short of truth, and whispers that never became words. Friends said he always carried an unspoken heaviness, like someone who knew a secret but hadn't yet found the courage to face it. In 2023, months before his walking challenge made him an internet sensation, Chewie quietly contacted a private genealogist in Memphis. He provided blood samples, handwritten letters, and a guitar pick passed down by his mother, engraved with the initials EP. The genealogist later revealed that Chewie's request was personal, not performative. He wanted closure. What he found was heritage. When the DNA results finally confirmed the truth, Chewy didn't erupt into celebration. He didn't hold a press conference or rush to capitalize on his newfound identity. He did what he'd always done. He walked, inch by inch, step by step. Then came the post that changed everything. On the 212th day of his 1 inch per follower challenge, the day he reached 1 million total inches, Chewy uploaded a simple black and white video. He sat on the hood of a vintage Cadillac as the sun dipped below the horizon. There was no music, no editing, no performance. Just one line in the caption. "He's my grandfather. That's all I'll say for now." The internet erupted. Within 24 hours, the post surpassed 30 million views. Reporters swarmed his neighborhood. Talk shows begged him to appear. But Chewy refused every offer. He turned down interviews, declined television appearances, and avoided comment. The only update he gave was a silent video of himself walking in front of Graceland, wearing a shirt that read, "Blood don't lie." The moment Lisa Marie Presley's eldest daughter reposted that clip with a broken heart emoji, the world understood this wasn't fiction anymore. Soon after, the Presley estate pulled certain old DNA-related filings from court. When pressed for a statement, Elvis Presley Enterprises issued a single cryptic line. "Graceland has always welcomed family, and it always will." That was all the confirmation the public needed. In the following weeks, Chewy's quiet dignity only intensified the fascination surrounding him. He wasn't trying to become Elvis. He wasn't chasing fame. If anything, he seemed to be running from it. Yet everything he did, every walk, every word, every silence, felt imbued with the spirit of the man he descended from. His journey eventually led him to Tupelo, Mississippi, the birthplace of Elvis Presley. For decades, no known Presley family member had visited there publicly. Tupelo had become more of a sacred landmark than a destination. But one humid afternoon, a local gas station clerk spotted a tall, quiet man walking down Main Street with a backpack, a bottle of water, and a calm, steady gaze. The clerk recognized him instantly. "Are you really his grandson?" he called out. Chewy didn't answer. He just smiled and kept walking. By the time word spread, the crowd had swelled to hundreds. People followed at a respectful distance as Chewy made his way to the small 2-room house where Elvis was born. Some cried. Others prayed. One elderly woman whispered to a reporter, "He walks exactly like him." Inside the museum, Chewy didn't ask for a guide or take photos. He simply stood before Elvis's childhood bed in silence. After several minutes, he placed a folded note on the frame and walked out. That note, later discovered by staff, read, "You built the dream. I'm just walking the inches now. Thank you, Granddad." Once the words were leaked, they spread like wildfire. Walking the inches became a viral slogan, printed on shirts, mugs, tattoos, and social media banners. To fans, it wasn't just a phrase, it was a message, a continuation of something bigger than one man. What followed was even more surreal. Chewy was later photographed behind the heavily guarded gates of Graceland, inside a restricted section known among insiders as the Vault. Rumors about that vault had persisted for decades. Stories of sealed letters, unreleased recordings, personal journals, even a secret will. Until that moment, no one had ever confirmed its existence. Witnesses said Chewy was escorted inside by an older man believed to be one of Elvis's surviving confidants. No cameras were allowed. No statements were issued. He entered quietly and stayed inside for 3 hours. When he finally emerged, he carried a manila folder and a single cassette tape. His face, according to those present, was pale, almost haunted. He handed the folder to a Graceland archivist and said only, "This belongs in the museum." The world deserves to know he never said what was inside. Whispers soon spread that the folder contained a letter written by Elvis in 1975, addressed "To the One Who Will Come Next." Handwriting experts reportedly authenticated it. The letter spoke of fear, legacy, and a line that sent chills through even the most skeptical readers. "They won't believe in him until it's time." The cassette tape, however, was never turned in. Chewy kept it. For 2 days, he vanished from the public eye. When he finally resurfaced, he posted a photo of Elvis's eyes in black and white with the caption, "He spoke." I listened to his growing legion of followers. That was confirmation enough. Chewy wasn't chasing attention. He was preserving something sacred. He wasn't exploiting a legacy. He was fulfilling it. After that moment, those close to him began noticing subtle changes. He became quieter, more introspective. Friends described an almost spiritual transformation. He started keeping a dream journal, mirroring a habit Elvis himself once had. He talked about vivid dreams where Elvis appeared in a white jumpsuit, whispering, "You've got to finish what I couldn't."